Ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, for those of you who don't know where Winnipeg is, it is in Canada. And for those of you who might think you are watching a cartoon or a Monty Python skit, I assure you, you are not. Because in the era of rampant police corruption, sociopath criminals behind the badge, taking photographs of corpses and passing them around internally, at least they are doing land recognitions before they make the announcement. Behold!
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pat Sadak, and I'm a constable with the Winnipeg Police Service Public Information Office. We have one item to discuss with you today, but before we do that, I would like to acknowledge that we are on Treaty 1 territory, the home and tradition lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to now invite Chief Bowers to the...
They have one thing to announce today. Rampant police corruption, criminality within the force. But first, let me virtue signal. I want to tell this guy something. I'm not going to make the obvious jokes. Though they're floating around in the devilish side of my brain, I'm going to say to this man, sir, if you are on unceded land, give up your home. Just give your property back. Oh, what are you doing from your beautiful ivory tower? We thank you, dear natives, for this unceded land on which I have built this ivory tower, from which I will thank you for the exploitation that we have carried out, admittedly, on you and your people for generations. Now let's just get into the corruption within the police force. Did you get? Are we good? We're virtuous? Okay.
Podium to provide opening remarks.
Listen to what they're going to say here. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play enough.
Everybody. Back on November 7th, 2024, I spoke to you about 3 of our officers being arrested and charged for a number of serious offenses. At that time, I shared that the investigation was ongoing. Constable Elston Bostock has been charged with a number of new criminal offenses.
Let me just skip to the back. We don't need to get into the details of what these police officers have been charged with. One took a picture of a corpse, I guess because he thought the woman was attractive, and then circulated it internally. 3 other officers in uniform forcibly evicted someone from a property under no color of law, which is also known as burglary, breaking and entering. If it's not forcible confinement, maybe, I don't know, some form. The criminals behind the badge.
And breach of trust. The third incident I'll describe took place on or about March 16th, 2023. In this instance, while on duty, Constable Bostock and his partner, Constable Vernon Stratinsky, attended to a residence in the 300 block of Mountain Avenue in a marked cruiser car and in full uniform. Both officers entered the residence without authorization for the purpose of evicting the tenants at that location. These actions were not associated in any way to their policing duties.
Just straight up criminals.
In relation to that third incident, the charges are break and enter to commit indictable offense, to wit, extortion. 21st, 2021.
I want to hear this one.
And this involved a sudden death that Constable Bostock attended.
Sudden death.
While on duty, Constable Bostock attended a call for service regarding a sudden death in the 500 block of Osborne Street.
Sudden death, cop shows up.
At which time he obtained an intimate photo of a deceased female who was only partially clothed. Constable Bostock then distributed this photo electronically to another party. The charges relating from that second incident are indignity to human remains, distributing an intimate image, and breach of trust.
This is the Winnipeg Police Department. This is Alex Zoltan at Amazing Zoltan. Go follow him if you don't already follow him for some good Canadian stuff. They come out there with their nice, innocent Canadian accents, and they say, "Oh, we like to thank the natives for the land that we stole from them, that we acknowledge that we stole from them. It's unceded, meaning they never ceded it to us, but we stole it and we like it and we're not giving it back. Oh yeah, and we got a bunch of freaking criminals on our police force, eh?" Winnipeg Police, I'm quoting the tweet here. One of our senior officers is a psychopathic serial criminal who, while maybe high on coke and mushrooms, sold drugs, extorted people, stole ammunition, by the way, I think also, and took grotesque pictures with dead women in their underwear. But before we get to that, let's do a land acknowledgement. This is the absolute state of Canada. And now let's take a brief pause from this vlog for a word from our sponsor, Qualia Senolytics. Everyone, you know that as you get older, you start getting aches and pains and you don't heal quite as fast as you used to in your youth. There is something that can help you with that, and it is Qualia Senolytics, the first of its kind formula designed to help your body naturally eliminate senescent cells. Qualia Senolytics is at the frontier of what is currently possible in the science of human aging. Senolytics are a science field revolutionizing human aging. A big culprit behind what we refer to as the middle-age feeling can be senescent cells, aka zombie cells, that linger in your body after their useful function has been exhausted. The accumulation of zombie cells can lead to less energy, slower recovery time, joint discomfort, and basically feeling old. Qualia Senolytic is a groundbreaking, clinically tested supplement with 9 vegan plant-derived compounds that help you and your body eliminate these senescent cells, helping you feel years younger in just months. How it works: you take it for 2 days a month, helping your body naturally eliminate the zombie cells, and you feel better at the cellular level. And Qualia's breakthrough formulation is vegan, non-GMO, and tested by leading scientists. Go check out the products that they have. I have my Qualia Mind, which has caffeine in it, so don't take it too soon before going to bed. It keeps you revitalized and energized. Head over to qualialife.com/Viva. The promo code Viva will get you 15% off your purchase, and your older self will thank you when you start feeling younger than your future older self. Once again, that is qualialife.com/Viva for 15% off. Thank you, Qualia, for sponsoring this video. And now back to the vlog. But before we get to that, let's do a land acknowledgement. This is the absolute state of Canada. It's not by accident that they do it, by the way. It is the shielding yourself in virtue while you basically have to lay bare your corruption. Remember with the 2 missing Nova Scotia kids, whom I don't think we've found as of yet. Before they do that press conference, they have a woman who goes on for 3 minutes about land acknowledgement. Can you imagine being the parents of the missing children and having to sit through land acknowledgements? And I think there was a political reason for which they did that in the case, given the nature of the case and the identities of the individuals. These guys get up, and before they expose their rampant criminal corruption behind the badge, they got to pretend to be the virtue signaling ass kissers that they are. It's atrocious. But there's more coming out of Canada before we get on with the day, because I want to do the updates of the madness. From Winnipeg to, that's central Canada, to the west, to the east coast, excuse me, where, as you know, because we've been talking about it all week, they've had a fire ban and you can't go in the forest because of spontaneous combustion, prohibited from hiking, biking, fishing, camping in Nova Scotia forests because it's so dry, and you don't want to have a repeat of the 2023 forest fires, which were criminal arson. And of course, the criminal arsonists are going to stay out of the forest when they know nobody else is there. What could possibly go wrong? So as they are stripping Canadians of their God-given rights, and I think too many people have forgotten that, given by God, not afforded by humans, I had to double check. I did the, hey Grok, is this a real account or a fake account? Not because I'm relying on Grok to think for me, but because I don't know what is parody and what is not parody anymore. I go to Roger Kushner. Oh, maybe it's Kushner. Oh, whatever, Roger. And his profile says Canadian senator from Nova Scotia, former consul general. Can we stop that? Former consul general for Canada in Boston. And I don't even know what the hell this is. Okay. His tweet says, in respect of Fred Delorey, who works for or is a regular on CBC, Communist Broadcasting Corporation, which says, respectfully disagree in respect of another tweet, which says that it's ridiculous. What the hell is going on here? I'm going down this rabbit hole here. Let's listen to this.
A leisurely walk in the woods is no longer allowed in Nova Scotia.
Okay, I played this yesterday. Someone says this is obsessive. Michael Taub, who's a columnist for the National Post, Wall Street Journal, et cetera, says, agreed, being cautious due to dry conditions and possible wildfires makes sense. Banning walking in the woods and threatening penalties of $25,000 per incident is beyond the pale. I agree with Michael Taub. I agree with, banning fires. To which Fred Delorey, who is a CBC communist propaganda proponent, says, respectfully disagree. As a woodlot owner in Nova Scotia, well, you can't go in your forest there, Fred. I can tell you firsthand, the forest floor is like tinder right now. You can feel the heat rising from it, just waiting for a spark. Well, you better have forest management not do the annual cleanings there, but set that aside. Our province's small communities are tightly woven into the woods. One fire here doesn't just burn trees. It can jump roads, wipe out homes, and trap people fast. We don't have the buffer zones or fire breakers that larger provinces do. Well, maybe you want to fix the problem instead of stripping people of their rights, but set that aside. A short-term ban on recreational access is inconvenient for sure, but also smart. One careless step could cost millions and devastate lives. This is a statement that will always be true, so enjoy your prison, CBC propagandist. Then this guy replies and says, I was at a friend's place last night. His wife put a cigarette out in the fire pit before we went inside for dinner. 10 minutes later, we noticed the pit was in full blaze. Innocent enough, but incredibly dangerous. I support Premier Houston's call on this 100%. Hold on. I have to bring up my reply to this because after I made sure that it wasn't a parody account and I'm going to get duped into replying to a parody account, I had to reply. Grok, is it real? It's real. So you're a retarded lawbreaker and you expect Nova Scotians to have their rights stripped from them because you're a retarded lawbreaker. Get bent, idiot. Now, by the way, notice acutely missing from his tweet is whether or not they were using the fire pit. You know what tends to make a fire pit come back from the ashes, pun intended? If there were, what is it called? Embers in the fire pit. If you had a fire in the fire pit before you put the cigarette out in it, that might explain that you didn't quite put that fire out in the fire pit. I screenshotted his tweet for evidence for the future. He didn't quite mention if they were actually having an outdoor fire despite the fire ban. But that guy did something stupid, or at least he blames it on the wife of one of his friends. Way to go, coward. He does something stupid, and everybody else has to suffer. It's the government way, people. It's the government way. All right. Now that we've had our update on Canadian madness, M. Sidloy in the House said, I heard a comedian quip that land acknowledgements are white supremacy. Not only did you win militarily, but now you're seizing the moral high ground. Not bad, Sidloy. A value-added man. I've seen his name. Oh, I know who you are, Sidloy. I don't know in person, but thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. How goes the battle? We're going to have a fun one today because I've been picking fights. And yesterday I picked a fight with a doctor. We're going to talk about some breaking news. There's a lot of breaking news. Federal court siding with Trump 2-1. Reversing Judge Boasberg, corrupt SOB Judge Boasberg. Speaking of corrupt SOBs or POSs, depending on where you want to go about this, we've got Leticia James, corrupt to the core, and now herself under the magnifying glass, under the spotlight, the big, beautiful spotlight. What's the word? Accountability. We'll see. We are live on Rumble. We're live on vivabarneslaw.locals.com, where Bill Brown is posting pictures of his dog. Dr. Zoidelberg says he admitted to using a fire pit prior to the cigarette butt. He admitted to using the fire pit prior to the cigarette butt. Oh yeah, dude, it's amazing. These are the ones who want to take your rights away. Oh, who was it? It was Justin Trudeau. After he gets caught for blackface, lecturing us on racism. After he gets caught for misogyny, lecturing us on women's rights. Pathological, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, whatever the hell you want to call it, pathological abusers.